Okay, well, welcome back to Career View. It's been a long time.
Yes, it has.
We've
We're
had
back.
A hiatus. Yes. So
We're back. Sorry for the long break, but
no
we're back.
kidding. I'm Katie Avis, and this is Darren Boots, and today we're going to talk about interview prep and how to get ready for that interview, but not being scripted or canned and that sort of thing. So
Yeah. It's really imperative. The days of just being able to go into an interview and kind of wing it are over.
Mm-hmm.
You absolutely have to be prepared. And you know, I think the best rule of thumb is to prepare as much as possible, at least a couple days
Right.
in advance, to walk in there fully prepared. But what does that mean, being fully prepared for an interview?
Right. So you should always drive by the location ahead of time if you've never been there before. Plan for a little bit of traffic, or maybe, in the summertime, construction and that sort of thing, maybe any kind of delay that you have, and be able to walk on site 15 minutes early. You don't really want to go much earlier than 15 minutes, but 10 minutes prior.
Especially in the Des Moines market, you get downtown, some of those buildings get confusing. And some companies have multiple properties. So,
Yeah, they do.
I'm a big person on dressing professionally for interviews. I know that in today's culture, a lot of companies are going more business casual, that kind of stuff, and that's all well and fine once you get the job.
Right.
But I'm all about dressing to impress when you go in there, but also know the culture and the people that you're speaking to. But
Right.
I would definitely be prepared and put on your Sunday best, so to speak.
Absolutely, and know what you're going to wear ahead of time, so you're not shuffling around and oh no, my shirt, I can't find it, or whatever.
Yep.
The next day. Have the contact number of the person you're going to meet with, or at least of the company, in your phone, so that way if something happens, like heaven forbid you have a flat tire or something happens on the way, you can reach out. Or if you're working with a recruiter like one of us and we've set it up, contact us and we'll contact the company for you and give them a heads up that you're going to be late. We even had the case where that got someone the job just because they had that courtesy ahead of time.
Yeah,
once,
you
so.
always want to have that courtesy. Showing up late, even if it's just a couple minutes, it really sets things off on a bad tone. The other thing is, know the resume like the back of your hand. You're going to want to make sure you have copies for how many people are interviewing you, but really go through your resume with a fine-tooth comb. If you can't thoroughly speak to something on your resume, it should not be there.
Yep.
And that is especially big with IT positions. If you have technologies and stuff that you kind of used once in a drive-by situation, you don't want that on there. You can bring it up if it's relevant in the interview, but you don't want that on there, because if they ask you about it, you can't speak to it. It's going to look like you falsified your resume.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. Definitely go through the job description or any information that you have been given about the position with a fine-tooth comb before you go through. Try to think of ways you've met or exceeded the expectations. If there's something on there you don't know what it is, look it up. Definitely don't pretend to know it or have used it, or falsify that you've used it before, but definitely showing that you took the drive to actually look into it is really important. Or maybe there's a tool or some kind of technology that you haven't used before, but you've used something similar. You can share that and explain how you've used that.
Yeah. I think honesty is the best policy here, because if you try to fudge it, they're going to bust you, and then the whole thing's going to go south. And just also letting them know that you have a willingness to learn, and that's one of the things that attracts you about this position. That's going to
right. They like to see passion and drive. Yep.
Another thing I like to suggest is looking up the hiring manager on LinkedIn and just doing a little bit of research about their background and seeing if you have any commonalities that would help you build rapport. I'm a big believer that people get jobs a lot on good personality. As much as they're looking for the technical piece, they're also looking for the cultural piece. So you have to let your personality come out. But yeah, do your research on LinkedIn. See if there's any commonalities. Maybe you guys worked at the same company, or you have a friend that worked at that company, or maybe, who knows, maybe you went to high school together and you don't even know it.
Or you're part of the same user group or something like that. Any of that helps. Right in line with that, do your homework on the company. Go to their website, find out what they're involved in. Google the latest technology trends that they're using. Look for products, who are their customers, and that kind of thing.
Another thing is make sure you prepare questions in advance and put some thought into these. I would walk into an interview with at least 5 or 6 questions in advance, questions about the team, the company, challenges that they're facing right now, the project, technologies, anything. Even if they answer most of your questions during the interview, you still want to ask questions, because a lot of times we hear that they didn't get the job because they didn't ask good questions. They're, you know, hiring managers look for people that are collaborative, that are proactive, that are inquisitive. So you want to definitely make sure that you do that and have them written down. When you show up for the interview, we already mentioned it, make sure you have extra copies of your resume ready to go. Bring a pad folio and a pen to take notes. Now, when you're taking notes, though, you don't want to take so much notes that you become disconnected from the people that are interviewing you.
Yeah.
You want to just take highlight notes, because it's very important that you stay engaged with that person that's interviewing you and keep very good eye contact.
That's a good point.
So that's what we're talking about today. But before we go, the market is just flooded right now. We have a ton of opportunities from a contract standpoint. Just here locally in Des Moines, you know, the Java development positions are exploding. Scrum Masters, UI, UX, a bevy of data positions in InfoSec. So if you're someone that's in IT right now, and you're even remotely considering making a change, reach out. I know she's got a lot of stuff on the perm side too.
In perm, we're looking for a lot of Java engineers, again, JavaScript people, anybody with Angular JS or Node. We're looking for automation engineers, and again, data. We hear it all the time, whether it's business intelligence or ETL developers, or if it's a data architect, data analysts, or all those kinds of things we're looking for on both the perm and contract side.
Yeah.
So,
I did want to take a special moment to say that last time, I know it's been a little while since we done this, and we're going to do this on a more regular basis, but we got such an overwhelming flood of views and support last time that we did this. So thank you for that.
Yes, thank you so much.
If you ever even have some topics that you want us to talk about,
Or
feel free
questions.
to reach out to either of us on LinkedIn, and we're always open to help any way that we can.
Absolutely. And feel free to check out any of our jobs on ariane.com. Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.